NHPoliticalReport.com, and to my right is Corey Lewandowski with Americans for Prosperity here in New Hampshire. I'm just going to begin by laying down some of the ground rules so you're all aware of how this is going to work. Each of us up here will be asking a series of questions. Each question will be asked of all the candidates. We will not be taking questions from the audience, but I do promise you we'll be covering a wide range of issue areas. Each candidate will get 90 seconds to respond to each question. They don't have to take all 90 seconds, but certainly would ask that you try not to go over. And we'll be starting from left to right and then rotating each question. So Kelly, we'll be starting with you. Would ask that the audience refrain from any type of cheering, sneering, clapping, whistling, whatever. We want to give as much courtesy as possible to the candidates and also allow for as much time as possible to go through as many questions as we can. There will be no opening remarks or closing remarks. Corey Lewandowski from AFP will begin with introductions of the candidates, and then we'll be going right into the question period. Corey.
Great. Kevin, thank you very much, and welcome all for coming today. We are pleased, Americans for Prosperity Foundation and Cornerstone Action is pleased to present to you 3 candidates seeking the Republican nomination for the vacating seat of Senator Judd Gregg of New Hampshire. Starting on my far right, your left, Kelly Ayotte has served for the past 5 years as the first female Attorney General of the state of New Hampshire. She currently resides in Nashua with her husband, her 5-year-old daughter Catherine, and her 2-year-old son Jacob. In the center, businessman Jim Bender. Jim lives in Hollis with his wife Susan. He has been a successful businessman for the last 25 years serving the New Hampshire community, and he has 2 daughters, Jackie and Lauren. And to my immediate right, your far left, is Ovide Lamontagne. He's a native and resident of the city of Manchester. He is currently a partner at Divine Millimet in Manchester, and he resides with his wife Betty, and they also have 2 daughters, Madeline and Brittany. And with that, we'll begin our debate. James.
Thanks, Corey, and thanks all for showing up. To start this off, let's talk a little bit about what we're doing here. You guys have been running for the race for this office for about a year now. So could you, in just 1 or 2 sentences, just pretty briefly, define what you believe to be the role of a U.S. Senator? Kelly?
I think the foremost role of a U.S. Senator is to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and that is the oath you take as a senator, and I think that has to be the preeminent role of a senator. And then in conjunction with that, representing your constituents and doing what's best for New Hampshire and voting what's best for the United States of America.
Well, as Abraham Lincoln once said, America is the last best hope for the world. America has unique responsibilities in the world, and the United States Senate and the Congress have responsibilities to help lead our country and to guide it into the 21st century. We, as Americans, have not had good leadership or stewardship of our economy or our country or this particular role in the world. We've been spending excessively for decades. We're running deficits that are unprecedentedly high. Corruption has reached an all-time high in our government. It spilled out at the seams during this healthcare debate with, after the 41st vote. We had unprecedented corruption. We had budget gimmicks. We had procedural tricks. We had coercion from the White House, and we had bribery on a massive scale. They call it earmarks in Congress. We need to get our government under control, and that is the role of the candidates who are running here today, is to try and bring some sensibility back to Washington. And if we're able to do that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can get our economy back on track and start growing our way through this and create jobs for New Hampshire. And that's why I'm running for the Senate.
I think the question is, what is the role of the United States Senator?
As you see it.
As I see it. And I think, first of all, the role of the United States Senator is to represent the people of New Hampshire and the state of New Hampshire. You may recall that it used to be, before the 17th Amendment, that the U.S. Senators were actually elected by the legislators of the state, of the respective state. And then we went to a direct election. But I think it's very important that the U.S. Senators see their constituent as the state itself and the people combined, because that wasn't changed. And then, in the context of the role of the U.S. Senator, it's to discharge the functions of the Senate in the context of, for example, providing advice and consent in confirmation of judicial appointments, ratifying treaties, working with the Congress, with the House in terms of passing legislation, but all the while representing the people and the state of New Hampshire. And I think that we have got to get back to basics, reverse course in Washington, and reclaim the rightful place of the people as the sovereign and the Congress as the servant of the people of New Hampshire and this country, and that's what I will do.
Great, thank you.